Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I got a couple MoneyGram related stories for you in this video. The first one, it's titled Ripple-Backed MoneyGram Offers Coinbase CEO Free Trial of Their Services. And of course, MoneyGram is the most notable customer of Ripple's, I'd say, that's utilizing on-demand liquidity anyway, which means XRP as a bridge currency. So come on, Coinbase, take advantage of it. Use on-demand liquidity. Here we go. And then I've got this one, which is titled MoneyGram launches innovative MoneyGram FastSend service, enabling customers to send money directly to a phone number. And then I'm going to share with you a tweet from fellow XRP YouTuber, digital asset investor, who is talking about XRP in retirement accounts, and just share with you a couple thoughts on that. But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead, treat yourself, girl, by subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel. Party in her a day. All right, we can dig in now. PayPal and traditional banks have been frequently criticized by crypto enthusiasts and by some of the top figures in the crypto industry too. Earlier, You Today, that's the media outlet I'm covering here, or who has a story which I'm covering, there we go, that's more accurate, reported that Bank of America had closed an account of the Tron CEO Justin Sun. It happened right after a similar action against former PayPal executive Roelof Botha, whose name I butchered, I'm sure, took place as well, assumingly after he had started buying Bitcoin. On Wednesday, February 12th, a payment from the CEO of Coinbase exchange, Brian Armstrong, was rejected by both PayPal and his bank. Armstrong took to Twitter to share this with the community. And now Ripple's partner, MoneyGram, immediately offered to help, which I think is awesome here. This makes for a good story. Check this out. Tweeting that his transaction to a friend via PayPal had been rejected and then also declined by the bank, Brian Armstrong commented that if this happens in the United States, which is a country where services are supposed to work in the most efficient way possible, then what damage from these centralized companies could occur in the rest of the world? You can see there's a tweet from Brian Armstrong on the screen right there, referencing just as much right there. Now, admitting that the crypto sphere does have certain drawbacks and challenges, Armstrong still emphasizes that crypto payments do work after all. And you can see here's another tweet from him in response to that. Crypto has its own numerous UX challenges, of course, but by building on new underlying infrastructure, there is an opportunity to make things better and finally have payments that just work. And so here's where MoneyGram steps in. In the comment thread, Ripple-backed MoneyGram appeared and offered a promo code to the head of Coinbase to try MoneyGram's remittance platform that works on the basis of Ripple-made on-demand liquidity. That's why I just think them jumping and interjecting themselves into this is kind of hysterical. I like this. So here we go. So again, here's the tweet from Brian Armstrong, and then I'll cover what MoneyGram wrote here. So from Brian Armstrong. Trying to send money to pay back a friend. PayPal tells me recipient is unable to receive money, and Square Cash tells me my bank declined the payment. This is in the U.S. where these services work best. Imagine the rest of the world. And so MoneyGram responded, "Hi, Brian. We would love to send you a promo code to try our services. Please send us a private message and we'll send it your way." And so they're, while it's kind of comical to me that this is a thing that happened in real life, they literally meant it. They're not trying to be facetious or anything along those lines. MoneyGram, absolutely. I mean, I'm taking them at face value. Yes, they'll offer this promo code here. MoneyGram is known to be using Ripple's XRP for remittance in around 5 corridors across the globe. 3 of them are tracked on Twitter by the XRP Liquidity Index bot, which is Mexico, that's Bitso Exchange, and then the Philippines, which is Coins.ph Exchange, and BTC Markets, cryptocurrency exchange in Australia. So, interesting there. Do you think he's going to be taking MoneyGram up on that? If I had to guess just for fun, I'm going to say no. Hopefully he sent back a thanks for the offer at least, right? Come on, be courteous here. All right, next. I got this next story from Mohammed Sadiq, who tagged me along with some others and wrote, "Now, that's adoption. When they expand the functionality to India, game on." And so what was being talked about here? Well, take a look at this tweet from MoneyGram. Sending money is now as easy as sending a text, said Alex Holmes, chairman and CEO. FastSend builds on the success of our extremely popular mobile app and will further our leading position in the evolution of digital P2P payments. Now, when you hear something like sending money is now as easy as sending a text, what does that make you think of? Haven't you heard stuff like that out of the mouths of the likes of Bragg Garlinghouse? You know, because we talk about today how, you know, really moving money should be as easy as sending an email, conceptual. And here they wrote texts, but still conceptually pretty much the same thing here. It's called the Internet of Value, my friends, and it's a-coming. So this piece is titled, MoneyGram launches innovative MoneyGram FastSend service, enabling customers to send money directly to a phone number. All right, MoneyGram International, a global leader in cross-border P2P payments and money transfers, today announced the launch of MoneyGram FastSend, a new service through which consumers can send money quickly and easily to their friend's mobile phone number via the MoneyGram website and mobile app. The new service, supported by the Visa Direct rails, enables the industry's fastest transaction times and the most seamless money transfer user experience. In this revolutionary new product, customers can send and receive money in just a couple of clicks. Now, I find stories like this fascinating because obviously, you know, there's no indication that XRP is being used in this. But imagine if this is something that gets picked up here and people actually they actually find success with this particular application. We know that MoneyGram is all about on-demand liquidity, and they want it expanded into more corridors as quickly as possible, which can only happen at a certain pace for a number of reasons, like you have to have sufficient liquidity, so pools of liquidity, cryptocurrency exchanges, then there's the regulatory concerns, all of that, so it takes a while to build this whole thing out. But imagine if an application like this gets traction, you know that any certain amounts of this that are going to be traveling across borders could be converted from one fiat currency to another. So I just want to see more action with MoneyGram just in general. As an XRP holder, I'd love to see that because I think that utility matters and will win the day. Anyway, the piece continues. With the launch of new FastSend service, sending money is now as easy as sending a text, said Alex Holmes, MoneyGram chairman and chief executive officer. And he added, quote, FastSend builds on the success of our extremely popular mobile app and will further MoneyGram's leading position in the evolution of digital P2P payments. And then they state to use FastSend, customers simply log into the MoneyGram app or website, enter the receiver's name and phone number, and select FastSend. A text is sent to the receiver notifying them that they have received funds immediately and are available for deposit. The receiver then logs in, adds their debit card, and the funds are transferred into their bank account within minutes. So, not as fast necessarily as the XRP tip bot, but still, you know what? This is we're talking about improvements within the legacy financial system. So I will take this here. I wish MoneyGram the best. I'd like to see them do well here. Now take a look at this tweet from fellow XRP YouTuber Digital Asset Investor who wrote the following. Something not often talked about is that there will be a lot of XRP locked up in retirement accounts. I'm betting this locked up supply is very positive for price. Hashtag zero doubt. Now, there's a couple ways he could have been thinking in line with this. The first direction my brain went is that people are treating their XRP holdings in their own personal wallets as retirement accounts, or thinking that just this is an investment for the long haul. So, certainly, and I'm one of those people. Of course, I'll be happy to perhaps sell some, realize some profits along the way, but I'm never going to want to sell all of my XRP. I have too much fun tracking this, and I think it can be worth substantially more decades from now. So I personally won't ever sell all of it. But so potentially that's the route that he was thinking, but there's another route he could have been going, which is perhaps just the concept of XRP, just investing with any sort of financial advisor, fund manager, in which case, it could be, it still have to be, unless you're talking about escrow, it's not literally locked up, right? Because you can have a time release with escrow here. And so take a look at this tweet from Yasin M., who responded to Digital Asset Investor and wrote on Twitter here. He wrote, I thought retirement accounts can be actively managed, meaning assets can be sold and bought within the account. It's just that the account owner does not have access to it until he/she reaches 59.5. Well, if there's some sort of account, because look, the two off the top of my head that I'm thinking of, there's 401ks and IRAs, and there are, in terms of withdrawing without penalty. There are age restrictions. I'm not going to get into all the specifics of that in this video. That's way outside the scope of this. But unless something like that were set up for XRP, I don't know how any of that particularly would necessarily apply. But I could see things like that getting built around crypto as time passes. Maybe, yeah, why not here? But for me, I'm personally just happy to sit back and hold, and I'll be here a few decades from now, God willing. I'm only 36, damn it, I'm not that old. And so it'd be neat to look back and see exactly what has unfolded, but it is one hell of a ride here. But in terms of what Digital Asset Investor writes here about it being positive for price action, well, sure, absolutely. Because just imagine that most XRP that exists right now is not available for sale on exchanges. Most of it's being held, and I'm not talking about specifically just because Ripple has a bunch of XRP in escrow. Most of the XRP that is out there that people have bought is not for sale on exchanges, and so you can imagine what that does for supply and demand. It's positive. And so the more long-term individuals out there that are purchasing this, the better one would suspect it would be for the price action long-term of XRP. So, I don't know, that's just what I think. Anyway, you can tell me what you think in the comments section below. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!